I was already a guardian, and I had been a guardian volunteering and not getting any money for quite some time. And my friend, who's an attorney, he suggested that I be a legal guardian. So that's really what made me start. Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Heyyy HR, and I did a video all on side hustles. And it told you all about all the side hustles I did as an HR professional. Because I'm gonna be real, like in the beginning, you really don't make that much money. It's expected, you have to grow into that space, right? Back in the day, not only did I not make that much money, but I spent it as fast as I got it. I didn't budget well. I bought things I absolutely didn't need. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I sure was. I am now a recovering financial mess. And I'm so proud to say it. But to get there, I actually did several different side hustles that helped me get to the point where I was just like, you know, exhausted with exhausting my paycheck all the time. And one of the side hustles I did was that I was a legal guardian for 8 different wards of the court, and they were appointed to me by probate court here in Charleston, South Carolina. So someone asked me if I could go through and tell them what I did to become a legal guardian. So I'm definitely honoring your request. So not only am I going to tell you all about what I did to become a legal guardian, but I'm absolutely going to tell you about what a legal guardian is. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, before I dive into the deets, being a legal guardian and the one volunteer thing that I did was being a guardian. So there's a difference between a legal guardian and a guardian. So a legal guardian, you are helping wards of the court, adults. A guardian, you are helping children who have been replaced or run a chance of being displaced, I should say displaced, from their home by DSS. So being a guardian is what led me into being a legal guardian, just because I thought they went together. They're different, child, they're different, you're doing different things, they ain't the same. But being a guardian really humbled me and really made me get my act together and helped me be more committed to my financial journey of like, being, you know, more responsible with my money and just being happy for what the hell I got. Like just being happy. So if you want to know how I became a legal guardian and what a legal guardian is, then definitely keep watching. So a legal guardian is sometimes referred to as a conservator or conservatorship or conservator to a firm. What they do or what they're used for is when an adult is not capable of making responsible decisions. So they're court appointed. You can't just be like, okay, I'm their guardian. No, that don't work like that. You have to go through probate court. It's almost like having a power of attorney, or it's very similar. It really is the same thing. It encompasses having power of attorney. And you go through probate court, they want to make sure that this adult literally can't make decisions for themselves. And then they want to go through and verify there's no one else to take conservatorship or be a legal guardian for this person. And then they may appoint you or your firm. I just told you exactly what they are. Now, what exactly do? They make legal, financial, and healthcare decisions for any ward of the court. And a ward is someone who's just incapacitated in some type of way where they can't make their decisions for themselves. It may be that this person doesn't realize like their house is falling apart and there are different structures to their house that need to be done in certain stages to get it in livable condition. Maybe they don't know who to call or how to call anyone to get that done. Most of my wards, or a good bit of my wards, were ex-military that became disabled, mentally disabled. And so they didn't have children. They didn't, oddly enough, they didn't have a spouse, or they didn't have family that can do that at 100% caring for them. Like, it's pretty much like watching somebody 24/7. Not just taking care of their financial, their health, and their legal stuff, but it's like taking care of them every day. For most of my wards, I always had to hire an adult caregiver or find a family member who we would pay to be their adult caregiver. I had to not only make their appointments, but take them to those appointments. If they needed extra procedures or their level of care was more intense, I had to make the decision on like if it's okay to move on with that level of care. I can't tell you how many times I had to run to the hospital and like sign paperwork so that they can have another procedure. Very similar to a parent for a child, right? I had another ward where her house was very much like falling apart and it was low to the ground and she's near the water. She lives on an island here in Charleston. It was several things we needed to do to like save her house. Her house was not livable. So that I had to go through and get like a tree cutter to cut the trees because the roof was being messed up by the branches. I had to go in and get the floors raised. I had to get the bathroom doors widened because now she was in a wheelchair, so we needed her to be able to get to the bathroom. Just tons of things. Luckily, we were able to get one of her sons to come in and be her full-time caregiver, but we're still her or the firm I worked for, because I didn't do it directly. I was working full time. I couldn't go to court. Typically, you do need an attorney to help you with that conservatorship in probate court. And so I worked for a firm, and so they are still her legal guardian. Her son is not the full-time guardian. They actually pay her son out of her money. So what you're doing is you like, where the money coming from? The money is coming from that person. What the probate court does is they go through all of their assets and they hold that money, and they have the guardian as well as a third party make sure that the funds are going to the right place. So the guardian gets a certain amount allocated to them every single month, and that covers their services, that covers spending money for this ward, that covers their regular bills, like all of those things. So typically that third party will pay all of the bills and then give you the spending money, give you the amount that you need for yourself. And then they normally will pay if you have to get a contractor to come out and do work too. So that's literally how you get paid. You're really being paid from that person's assets. How do you start? You like, Tamika, all that girl asked you was how it started, and you going through all of this. But it's helpful. You got to know that stuff before you dive into this, how you starting thing. So it does vary from state to state. It could vary from county to county. I'm giving you experience on Charleston County's probate court. I'm not sure about anywhere else. Again, that was a side hustle for me. It wasn't a full-time thing. I didn't want to work in the law. This was something that I was already a guardian, and I had been a guardian volunteering and not getting any money for quite some time. And my friend, who's an attorney, he suggested that I be a legal guardian. So that's really what made me start. And then he referred me to a firm, because the plan was that I work for him. He wanted someone that can come over and take over the full legal proceedings and things like that. I couldn't do it. I was in school, I was working, I'm a single parent. And so I couldn't do it. And so he was like, you know what? It's okay. You can go with this firm, get trained completely, and then I'll pay you the full rate. So working for the firm, I started at like $12 an hour, went up to like 15. The plan was that I went to 18. There was a regular hourly pay schedule with the firm. With him, I was supposed to get paid traditionally what legal guardians get paid. So that's anywhere from $75 to $125 an hour. I never went that direction because I dived into my career and things were good. And it's a lot. It's a lot to be a legal guardian. I can't tell you how many times I had a second phone, and you can be out on a date and that phone ringing nonstop. If my wards went into the hospital, I literally had to go to the hospital every single day. If they had a doctor's appointment, I had to go there. And I sometimes would use PTO to be able to go do it. And you can't say how it's gonna run. They're mentally incapacitated. So sometimes your doctor's appointment can be pretty quick and easy. Sometimes they're really combative. They're upset. They don't want to follow the rules. They haven't followed the rules. They haven't followed the care plan. So it makes the appointment real long. How did I get started? My attorney or the conservatorship firms will petition a court for having different series of court appearances in probate court. And then it happens in that proposed ward's county of residence. So the attorney or conservatorship firm petition for having a hearing in the probate court and the proposed ward's county of residence. So it can't be your county, it has to be that ward's county of residence. And then you go through a series of hearings to finalize this hearing process, or to finalize you being the actual guardian. And so it includes searching for and notifying family members to allow them to take that responsibility. Sometimes you have family members that can do it, but they may not have talked to that family member in a while. That family member may have thought somebody else was taking care of them, just different things. And so the court will determine if the ward is incapacitated too. So not only are you trying to look for this family member, but we're going through different mental stages or different mental appointments to verify that this person truly can't take care of themselves, because they're literally handing that person's life over to you and all the money they've worked for all their life. So after you go through that and it's confirmed, okay, cool, they're incapacitated, okay, cool, there's no one else that can do this, then you will get finalized as the legal guardian. So you'll get a document from the court, and that document is pretty much like that power of attorney. It's stamped, it's official, and that's what you carry around all the time. You can't say, okay, I got it. I literally had to keep a folder on each of my wards, and if I went to a doctor's appointment, if I went to take care of anything, I can't tell you how many times I was asked for that document. I can't tell you how many times that people have made copies of that document. Most of my wards were not of color like myself. There were some. So I think those were the most times that they're like, hold up, who the hell are you? But you literally put your name as power of attorney on everything after you already submit that document, and then it's no problem. Everybody kind of gets used to you. But you manage all of their affairs from that point on. So it can be very extensive. It can require a lot of your time. And for me, I didn't think $12 or $15 was enough of my time. I made more on my full-time job. See, I did it initially because I thought I was gonna work for that 75 to 20, 125 an hour. And when I realized that was moving slow, I was like, okay, I'm done. Because it's a lot of gas, mileage on your car. Yeah, you can file it with your taxes, but you're really not always compensated as much as you like. And it just didn't weigh out. Like, my boys were all over Charleston County, Dorchester County primarily. And it was just a bit much. And then I paused for a minute. I didn't do it for like a year or two. And then I was starting to buy my house. So I called them back and be like, yo, can I pick up some cases? Because I needed more money to like save and get into my house. So I did it again for about another year. It's so crazy because some of my boys, absolutely all of my boys, they all love the ones that I had repetitively because I had gotten some new ones. They love me. They were like, Tamika, you're back. I felt so bad like abandoning them, but it's difficult to do that like completely. You know, it was a really good experience for me. It really made me appreciate life. It made me appreciate family. It made me appreciate just having a sound mind. And I will tell you that if you want to go into that, that's more than just a side hustle, child. Like, you're really altering your life to some degree. It really takes more of a passion to be the right legal guardian, in my opinion. Anyhow, if y'all want to know more about that, or if you want to know about when I was a guardian for kids who were in DSS's care or DSS's watch, then let me know. I can tell y'all about that too, because that was the most humbling 4 years of my life. I thank the Lord for that experience. I tell you all the time that volunteering is something you absolutely should put on your resume because it just shows so many different layers of you. So you should look into different volunteer opportunities. It really widens your knowledge. It really gets you more of a well-rounded professional. So if this is your first time coming here, I'm Tamika. I have worked in HR for the last 11 years, but sis had hot side hustles for at least 8 of those 11 years. And I worked in so many different industries, so many different companies, and HR is just my second language. I mean, really, if you want to say it, like I've said it before, it's my third. English is my first. Geechee. I'm a Southern girl from Charleston, South Carolina, and then HR is my third. But I eat and breathe HR. So if you want any tips, tricks, understandings about positions, salaries, how do I apply, how do I grow my career, then you have definitely found the right channel. And I ask that you please subscribe. I promise I will continue providing value. And if this is your time returning, you like, girl, you tell me all this, but I didn't know, then hey girl, hey, so happy to see you back. We in a new spot. You like it? I like my lighting. Okay. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next video.